Hello once again, all my beautiful Astrolites. Just thought I'd do another video before I head over to my lady's house for this weekend. I hope you guys are still enjoying your Veterans Day. So far, it's actually pretty calm out here. As opposed to earlier, I was heading to McDonald's. This lady was screaming all sorts of, "Give me my stuff back!" I'm not even gonna. It was crazy. But anyway, let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever, because I know a lot of us, many of us have been through this, but I need to ask recently, have you guys ever called a place and every time they would tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry, it looks like we don't have this person on hand right now, or we don't have the information available. Why don't you try again next week?" Basically, the runaround, right? Right. So that's basically why I'm making this video, to show you guys, basically tell you guys how you know if it's a runaround. People just gaslighting you. So I called these subsidiary apartments, beautiful apartments, um, downtown, pretty much behind a jail, which kind of makes me uneasy, but it's whatever. But anyway, so I called them a couple days ago to see where we are on the wait list, and they're basically saying, so first they're asking me what the last name was. I tell them what my full name is, and I spell out my last name because it can be confused, Henderson, Anderson, what have you. And she was basically saying, so why don't you try first thing next week? Because for some reason, their wait list was corrupted, and so now they have to redo the whole thing, which is ridiculous. But I figured I should at least give it another go, at least next Wednesday or something. But I really dislike how people just give me the runaround. I'm a very busy man. I don't have time to play games. I don't have time to play hide and go seek on phone calls and all this other craziness. I don't have time for it. But you guys relate to what I'm going through. You guys relate to even with jobs. It's most common with jobs, they will do that to you. They'll just be like, let's say you go in person, and the manager's not in. Surprise, surprise, right? The manager's not in, but the employee is, and they say, "Oh, so we're not hiring at the moment, but if you put in an application and do this and that." Yeah, you guys know where I'm going with this. You guys been there. I've been there more times than I can count throughout the past decade plus. It's ridiculous, I know. And you're just like, okay, I'll try again. I'll keep doing this and that. And whether it's your former manager, former bosses, or just simply a close friend of yours, they'll tell you, like, you know what, just straight up harass them, let them know you want this job, this and that. But you shouldn't have to go through all that. That's what I don't understand. Is why should you harass a job and you are more than qualified enough to perform the duties that they ask of you? And that's another reason I don't like 9 to 5ers, because I'm overqualified for menial work. I can do so much more with my time, so much more with my energy. And I know I shouldn't be working at the theater, but there's a reason I'm doing that. And I've already explained to you guys why I'm doing that. But, if they keep saying, oh, call next week, call the week after that, they're gaslighting you, they're giving you the runaround, they're basically saying, let's see how, they're playing with you, basically. They're just like, let's see how bad they really want to do this, they really want that. That's how you know you're getting played. Because you're not, if you never hear from the manager, if you keep having to go through that, because my lady went through that with the place she goes to for checkups and all that other stuff. They just been screwing with her. And I think I told you guys about this story. It was Juliana and I were sitting at the clinic, we were waiting for her to get her needs and all that stuff. This guy comes in, very full of life, very laser focused. He basically talks to the med staff, and he's saying, Juliana knows what I'm talking about because she was there and she knows what story this is. But anyway, so he's like, look, I have not been getting because I know you guys are busy and all, but I shouldn't have to suffer all throughout these phone calls, having to get the runaround, and because my stuff's been on back order for this week or that week, excuse me, and so on and so forth. He's basically asking for the manager. I believe it's one of the managers that comes up, and he's basically like, sir, I apologize that you had to go through this and that. And if I remember correctly, he actually printed out a formal complaint and gave it to them. And I was pretty much saying to Giuliani, you know that they're not going to give that to the manager. They're just going to shred it by the time they walk out the door. Because that's what they do. There's very few times that a formal complaint will actually be heard. That's why people like myself and Juliana, we make these videos, so we make sure people are heard. My mouth is very dry, I apologize. But it's real. It's like, if you're not going to do your job, you're not going to get the proper response when the people come in and complain to you. And I've gotten that before. Like, I'm just like, I just work here. I don't know what the whole situation with you guys are. That's why I'm glad I'm not a service lead at my theater job, because I don't want that type of responsibility again, especially if it's a 9 to 5er. Been there, done that, collected them all, I'm done. But you guys are still with me on this, right? It's better to show up in person than to have to call on the phone and just waste your day. Don't waste your time with any more phone calls. And I know some of you are like, well, I don't have, I'm not able to go out and do it on the days that I need to. That's understandable. But you need to reevaluate your situation. You really need to think about okay, if they are giving me the runaround, then I need to go in person and speak to one of the higher ups that actually knows what they're doing. That's all I'm suggesting. I get it. Times are tough. You have to pinch pennies these days. And it's hard to even scrape up a single dollar for light rail and bus fare. I get it. I've been there. I understand. But don't make yourself frustrated if you know you're getting the runaround. There are always choices. There's always another option. Juliana, excuse me, Juliana, for instance, she got so fed up with having to uh, try to get through her therapist by calling them on the phone. It was so bad to the point where she had to go find help somewhere else. But she made a choice. She had that option. She decided, you know what, Etalon, I am so done with this runaround, these people gaslighting me. I'm just like, I'm being supportive. I'm like, okay, if you want to, I'm 100% behind you. If you want to switch, if you want to find some help elsewhere, because I know this is stressful for you, I don't want you to have to go through all this mess. And she was the better for it, because she decided to make a change for herself. She got so fed up with the runarounds, as well as anybody else. Guys, there's always an option. Don't waste your time and don't waste your day trying to get through, because, you know, about, I'd say a good portion of the time, you're not going to get the call on that very day. Even if you ask for a callback. You're basically playing Russian roulette with the phone. And all you get is automated voice system, because either they're busy or they don't want to hear from you. Excuse me. Really think, because they honestly don't want to hear from the people who have the most to say. That's the main reason they do this. They're like, you know what? We're really busy. We're doing this. We're doing that. You guys are always busy. That's part of the problem. You guys are just being high maintenance with whomever is on the other side of that phone. You ever seen 9 to 5 where they do that? Basically like, thank you for calling, please hold. Thank you for calling, please hold. Hello, thank you for calling. They actually do that. They really do that. And it makes you so frustrated that you want to break your cell phone or break your landline, whatever you have. I'm saying don't fall for these runarounds. Yes, I'm planning to call next week, because they should already have. Matter of fact, because I remember the last time I actually talked to the lady, she told me that the list should have been already in order for the past few months. So basically, I'm still playing into their hands. But I feel like I'm getting somewhat closer. And I know I'm sounding a little naive at this point, but you know what? I'm going to call next week. And if they say that they still don't have the list, which they should have had months ago already, they should have had them fixed. Because I already told Juliana about this. When I went there in person, I talked to the lady, and she was like, okay, honey, she told me that they're going to have these new lists because they were all scrambled about and everything. She said to try to give her a call around next month. That was a few months ago. And then sometime after that, when I tried calling before this recent call, um, the one who was supposed to be checking the list was on vacation. You guys see where I'm going with this? This is an example of a major runaround. This is a major gaslight for us. I'm not trying to pay the lottery, all right? All I want is for the missus and I to live happily ever after in a bigger place. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to play Super Bowl here. But it's like I've been telling you guys. They are playing a monopoly on our lives. This is part of their game. It's sick and twisted. And they want us to have to... They want to make it seem like they're helping us, but in truth, they're really not. Because otherwise, they would have been like, okay, here's the manager's personal information. Just let them know what your name is. And they don't do that. Because I've actually had to do that before. If you just leave your name and number, don't do that. Don't leave anything that involves having to use writing. Just be like, okay, you know what? Since the manager's not here, I'm just going to come back another time. Oh, well, if you leave your email address or anything, just say no. Just be like, I'm going to come back until the manager is able to actually talk to me. Because I shouldn't have to be writing down no information. I've been going through this for weeks on end, months on end, so on and so forth. Don't write anything down. Because if it's on paper, they're not going to want to see it or hear it. I'm telling you guys like it is. They don't want to hear what we have to say or what we're trying to do. They just tell us what we want to hear so we can bugger off. That's how these places work. And that's why I told Juliana, I don't want to do anything that involves having to be gaslighted. I don't want to involve myself in places that give us the runaround. Guys, I'm getting older. I'm getting more tired. I can't keep playing a hide and go seek with these companies, man. And I'm being real with you guys. It's emotionally and physically exhausting, as well as mentally as well. Because then you're like, okay, I wonder when they're gonna call. I wonder when they're gonna send me an email. Don't, lovies, don't waste your breath on that. They want you to chase them. And it's sad. That's basically saying the lady should chase the man. That's not how it should work. That's not how it should work. We shouldn't have to chase them. If we know that we are more than qualified and our resume is superb, you shouldn't have to hear, oh, well, if you try again next week, or, oh, if you just leave your name and number and email information, you are so much more. You are worth more. Your time is worth more. Your efforts. You are worth so much more. Don't fall for these runaround tricks. Trust me. I have been in so much anguish having to deal with these clowns, these jokers, these troglodytes. It's like enough's enough already. Just be aware. Just be cautious. That's all I'm saying to you guys. Be cautious on whom you deal business with. Because you know if they're going to gaslight you. You know if they're going to give you the runaround. play it smart. Don't fall for their tricks, their traps, anything. And that's all I got for you guys. I wish you a happy Veterans Day, and as well as a happy Twin Flame Day to all you Twin Flames out there, not just myself and Juliana. Be safe, be well, be loved, be cautious, be smart. I love all you guys. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.